Welcome to Breaking the Glass Ceiling podcast. We'll be talking about the challenges we all face when we pursue success. We'll talk to individuals and professionals who give us insight and practical advice on how they broke the glass ceiling and actually reached their goals. Our mission is to give you the tools and resources that help you overcome obstacles and unlock your full potential. Our episodes may get a little edgy, so you may want to buckle up and get ready to break those pesky glass ceilings. Now here's your host, a true professional ready to take the journey with you, Celeste Sierra.
Well, hello and welcome again to Breaking the Glass Ceiling. I'm so excited to have Julie.
Hi, everyone.
My good friend from the gym.
Yes.
So Julie and I met a couple of years ago and we kept in touch. Even though we kind of both left the same gym.
Yes.
But I've always, I follow you and I've always looked up to you because, we used to have conversations at the gym all the time about being moms and working out and just that, that whole thing. And you were always like so focused on your workouts, but still being a great mom and a wife. With a husband in law enforcement. So we just had a lot of things in common.
A lot, yes.
So you have two little ones. I have two older ones now. But yours are growing. We were talking about it earlier.
They're still your babies.
They're still my babies. They will always be my babies. But so I wanted to bring you on because obviously, like I told you earlier, I want to bring women that come from wanting to empower other women. They want to share their story of how they've been successful. I see you and I see what you're doing and what you've been doing for a long time. In such a competitive industry too.
Absolutely.
And a crazy one for that matter because, from the gym that we were at and the people that we know, we come from working out with 100% competitors, girls that were like, that was their life. Yes. But that was not only their life, but they lived that life of being a competitor all the time. We're talking about eating very minimal. And I did it. You were doing it too. And then now I'm like fluffy.
Girl, no, you are not fluffy.
I have a little fluff, but I am happier, I feel.
Yes.
But the whole mentality of like, I'm eating too much. I shouldn't be eating this. I'm going to get fat. Like that's always a conversation for women. And as much as probably most women don't want to talk about, oh, I look fat or I feel fat or whatever, like that word is just such a strong word too, right?
It's a triggering word for a lot of women.
Yes. And then now I feel, now like I'm having some issues with my own daughter, my younger one. She's always been a bigger baby, bigger kid. And I think with social media and just like the way that we put women out there to be so slim, so skinny, it can start messing up with kids, right? At a younger age, I feel, than when we were probably growing up.
But even when we were growing up, we went through that situation.
The magazines.
I grew up with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, midriff tops, the sports bras, really tiny little waists. And it all stems from that early on into now, adulthood.
Right. Yeah. So tell us, I want to know how I met you and you were already in the fitness world and nutrition, but tell me how you started that. Like, how did you ended up doing that and wanting to do it, and what drove you to start your own business with that?
So it all started after I had my first Logan. He's 9 years old. So 9 years ago, almost, after I had him, again, this was when social media was really, really pushing fitness. Like you had that brand, I forgot what's called, Shreds.
Oh, Shreds, yes.
Do you remember Shreds?
Yes. Yeah. They're still around.
They're still around, but you remember all these athletes that were pushing that brand. And I just remember, like you said, it's social media. And I was just so influenced. I wanted to be this tiny, tiny little girl. Right. I wanted to know how I can get in the best shape possible in the fastest time possible. Not really understanding what I was doing.
And you had just had your baby.
And I just had my baby.
So we still have like the baby,
for sure.
body.
Baby body, everything. And I was new mom, looking at myself in the mirror, seeing these things that I've never seen before, you know? And to me, I hated it. I hated how I looked. I hated how I felt. I hated how my clothes felt. And I needed to, in my head, I thought, well, I have to look a certain way if it's going to make me feel better. And I dove in. I realized, let me see what I have to do. I started following all these girls on Instagram. I think it was like Paige Hathaway, Natalie Eve Fit, who was like a wrestler. And I looked up to these women because they just looked fantastic. They looked tiny. And I was like, I want to look just like that.
Right.
Unfortunately, we all have different body types, you know, not unfortunately, but we're all different, you know.
Well, you say unfortunately because we're looking at women that may not have our same body type. Yeah.
And because all this images that are like just ingrained in our brains so early on, I just got so stuck with that body type that I was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to that level. So I did all the cardio, not knowing what the hell I was doing. I just showed up at the gym. Let me just jump on this cardio machine. And I got super, super skinny. And I just was like, okay, this is initially like how I looked. I was like, this is exactly how I want to look. And I feel good. I felt good, you know? And sure enough, that's how I started, because I started influencing other women because they wanted to reach that goal too, you know? And eventually I started doing all of that, but I still wasn't feeling good about myself. And then that's what led into starting going into personal training. I wanted to know more about nutrition, and I wanted to know more about working out. You know, I knew that what I was doing probably wasn't the best way to do it.
Or the healthy way. Which I think nowadays it happens a lot. A lot of women are doing it the unhealthy way.
For sure. 100%. And so my goal was to influence and help these other moms feel good about themselves, because I was struggling just like they were. And I wanted to make them feel good about themselves and let them know that they can get back to where they were before, you know? So that's why I went into personal training. I started training at 24 Hour Fitness. And from there on, my passion for like fitness really started. And just working towards, you know, with every 2 to 3 years, this industry just changes and changes. And there's more science
and some other stuff coming up on social media about how you can lose weight faster. So you're like always just pushing through the stuff that's not so healthy, and you still want to push the stuff that you're doing, which is nutrition and how to tell women how to do it the right way. But then again, not with the instant gratification.
For sure.
Because it takes a while, obviously. We all know that. If we do it the right way, it's not going to be right away.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So how do you encourage women to understand that? Because, again, I feel like we all know it, but yet we still want it to be instant. We still want it to be like, I want to look good for this summer, which is like, what, 3 months away? 2 months away. And we know it's not going to happen, but, you know, we go and do it and start, you know, we'll do all the cardio, like you said, or, you know, start taking the new pills or whatever, or just starving ourselves, which I think it's probably worse than everything. Even though my assistant says that I starve myself. But then like I was with the rice cakes, but then I told you like she doesn't know what I eat when I get home.
I think for me, when I encourage, I use my social media as a platform to share how to overcome some of those things that women, I mean, we all want to see results tomorrow, right? Everybody wants them. And that can always lead to other eating behaviors. And, you know, you start to fear foods, you know, fear certain foods.
I have that fear of carbs.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. We fear foods because we're so used to thinking that these foods are bad for you. When food is not bad for you. Food, we should not even label food as good or bad. Food has no morals. And this is something that I always preach on my social media, because I get that a lot. You know, I do these polls and a lot of women are like, I'm afraid to eat carbs. Why? Because I gained fat. No. You probably gained weight over time. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. Carbs are not the enemy. It's calories, over consuming calories.
Right.
And like I shared with you earlier when I first got in here, I had like a muffin yesterday. I have chocolate every single day.
I know. I see all your
cookies every day.
Your posts with food, and I'm just like, how does she like that and it looks so good?
It's, I've just been somebody who's been tracking I'm more aware of what I'm eating.
Right.
Knowing and understanding that chocolate isn't going to make me fat. If I eat chocolate, overeating it, if I have like 10 of them, then that's something that I need to look at, But if I'm having 2 a day, it's not going to kill you.
Right. Yeah.
So I use my social media platform to encourage women to not label food, to not think that food is bad.
Right.
Because that's food controlling you.
But to know how to eat those foods.
To be aware of what you're eating too.
Right.
Can chocolate be bad? Absolutely. Can eating out
bread.
every single day? Can eating bread be bad? Absolutely. If you do it if you overdo it.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, we can go to In-N-Out and have a burger, and I'll be completely fine with eating it.
Wow.
Before, I never used to
Great.
I never used to be like that. I used to be so afraid of eating a freaking cookie.
Right.
And I'm saying it with so much animosity because I can't believe I was in that mindset.
Right.
To not enjoy my time with my family, eating out dinner, because I was afraid to eat. Oh my God, I can't have bread, babe.
Or like go to dinner with your family and you're not having dinner with them.
Having dinner
you're just
with
sitting
them.
there. Like I've
and
done
I know
that.
this is relatable to a lot of women because they'll be like that. They'll tell me, oh, I get anxiety when I go out and, there's bread or there's all this. Like, it's not about, don't fear the food.
Right.
You're controlling.
Do you think that, well, I don't even know if it's a question. I think it's actually true.
Yeah.
It all comes from lack of education in the nutrition world, right? Because if we're afraid of eating bread and carbs or whatever it is that you're afraid of, you're probably afraid of it because you are not educated when it comes to food.
Exactly.
And that's where you come in. That's why you, at times, you do have to have a nutritional coach.
Yeah. And even coaches have coaches.
That's true.
Mentors have mentors, and I'm someone who preaches like, if you're having those behavior feelings with food, then absolutely. I do more of a macros approach, and
counting macros
is just a more aware way of counting calories. You're seeing what every food, and I've been doing it for so long now that sometimes it's just intuitive eating now. Right. But that's why it's okay. I eat chocolate every single day because I know exactly what's in those nutrients. Like,
Yeah, by heart now. Like you already know it.
By heart, every single day. And you kind of just stick to the same foods every single day because I'll tell you right now, after I come home from the gym, I will eat chips and cottage cheese every single day because it is a thing that I love.
You enjoy it.
I enjoy it.
Right.
We all have different personalities when it comes to food.
Yes.
And before, if somebody used to give me like a meal plan to follow and it used to be like so rigid and black and white, and I used to not stick to it for more than 2 weeks because it was disgusting after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to eat after because I thought if I ate anything outside that meal plan, I was going to get fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fluffy, whatever we want to do.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. But it's something that a lot of women have a lot of issues with. And that's why I want to use my Instagram. I talk a lot on my platform to share that knowledge and help women overcome that fear of eating.
I was going to ask you, so with like new moms, how do you approach new moms that are struggling like to lose the baby because the baby weight, because we're talking about, the struggles. I gained a lot of weight with both my kids, but with my second one, it was like way more. Mm-hmm. And it was really hard to get back down again, especially after the second baby. And then I had my babies at an older age. So I know there's a lot of women out there that after their first baby, they're just struggling. It's a struggle.
For sure.
So how do you approach those women? Let's talk about just new mamas.
Yeah.
In general.
So new moms, like I feel you. I love, we have so much on our plate and I get it. I say we start small instead of trying to start big. Because when you start small, start changing small things that you're doing, maybe adding more walking instead of going to the extremes of doing so much cardio, add more steps to your daily routine, because weight problems are lifestyle problems.
That's true.
So if you're sedentary for the majority of your day, then, go walk. Make it simple. Don't think I have to do 5 days a week of all this working out. Think smaller. I can dedicate 3 times a week. That's more sustainable. That's something that I always recommend to my clients too, because everybody has different lifestyles. We're all busy, and if you can dedicate 2 days, even 3 days of more walking, more, meal prepping, like making sure, like not necessarily like meal prepping every single day, but take your time to really understand what's in the food that you're eating.
Right.
Increase your steps, daily steps. I promise you, just by doing those 2 things, adjusting and moving up, that's going to be a lot easier for somebody than jumping the gun, going from 0 to 100.
Yeah. That would be very hard to actually stay in it. That's true. That's true. What are some of the biggest challenges that your clients face when it comes to weight loss, and how do you help them overcome those challenges?
For something that I see a lot, obviously, is for me and my clients, is I see just the food. It's very, like I said, it's people, women specifically, have a fear of foods. Yeah. And so as much as I will say, eat your protein. Protein is great for you. It's going to help you build muscle. But it's okay to have some of your fun foods in moderation. Mm-hmm. Like let's build a meal plan that you love, that you can stick to. Yeah. It all goes down the mindset, and women will get on the scale and jump on that scale, and everything freaks out.
Yeah. And we talk about this all the time too when we were at the gym, because the scale, it's like the one thing that most women do. We all jump on it and we base everything off those numbers.
For sure.
But then when you start working out and you start eating right, you're probably gaining muscle. Mm-hmm. And then so the scale may not change.
Yeah.
But then you still feel discouraged.
You feel discouraged.
That's huge.
Huge. And I feel like for women who have that kind of obsession with the scale, stop weighing yourself and instead...
She's talking to me.
Take pictures. Pictures
That's
don't lie.
True.
Measure yourself, like especially around your midsection. Midsection does not lie. The belly button is the best place for you to take that little measuring tape every single week, and you want to be consistent with your diet for at least 8 weeks. Not 2 weeks.
Wow. Not
3 weeks. In order for you to really, really see some really good results, 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And during those 6 to 8 weeks, that meal plan, again, does not need to be rigid. It doesn't have to be black and white. Okay. You can absolutely create the meal plan that you love.
Right.
That you will stick to.
I know that maybe some of the women watching, because I know I have the question.
Okay.
So if you're talking about, you can still have a cheat, meal every now and then or whatever. Are we talking about like once a week maybe, or twice a month? Like, I want to know, like, okay, if I can get on this diet or not, let's not call it diet though.
It's not a diet. No, it's just a more weight.
Living style.
Yeah. Living style. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so how often can I have a burger?
You can have a burger every day. You can have a burger right now. But here's the thing. I don't call my meals cheat meals.
Got it.
Because that's labeling it already and again, when you label your food.
That's true. Yeah.
You're already thinking it's bad.
Yeah.
Why is a cheat meal bad? Because you're eating a little bit more calories than you're usually.
Why
not factor in that untracked meal, that higher calorie meal, into your, routine? Yeah. Like I told my son this morning, I'm like, we're gonna go have Chick-fil-A. He got so excited. I already know what I'll order from Chick-fil-A, because it's my grilled chicken breast sandwich. I'm gonna add more protein in there by adding more grilled chicken nuggets, and instead of ordering fries, I'm gonna order fruit. Oh. It's just like how you manipulate the food that you're eating to fit your needs.
Again, learning.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, if I want a hamburger, maybe I'll order a hamburger with no bun, lettuce, and I'll have my French fries and fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's don't label food. Don't say it's a cheat meal. If anything, you're just having a higher meal with higher calories.
Wow, I'm just like, wow. I'm not even reading my questions. This is such good information that we have to remind ourselves all the time, because I know all of this stuff and I still like struggle with it.
Yeah.
I work out all the time, and I'm not as strict as I used to be, you know, when we were at the gym together. But it's still like it's a struggle every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
It was a struggle for me. Let me tell you. I went from eating when I was doing the whole trying to do a show, whatever. I went from eating 1,300 calories, which is nothing. And I wanted to say a bad word, but I'm not. But I struggled with my mindset with trying to eat more calories. Yeah. It took me 2 years to get to the calorie intake that I'm eating at right now. And when I say the calories I'm going to eat right now, I hope it doesn't trigger anybody, but it's just to show women how much we undereat. Women undereat, period.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm eating over 2,100 calories.
Oh, my goodness.
And I went from 1,500, and I eat carbs every day. I eat chocolate every day. And I'm happy, and I'm building muscle.
Right.
I focus on building muscle at the gym. No longer am I on the cardio machine for 40 minutes trying to burn all these calories.
Yeah. Or an hour, like I used to.
For an hour.
Yeah.
You know, I go to the gym with the mindset, instead of I'm going to burn as many calories as possible, I go in with the mindset, I'm going to put on as much muscle as possible. Why? Because muscle is going to burn more fat. Muscle is going to increase your metabolism. And when you're under eating, your metabolism drops. And
That's
if you
true.
continue under eating for a very long, it slows down.
Right.
Because your metabolic system, your metabolism is like a thermostat. Like it's going to adjust to what you feed it.
Right.
So the more you undereat, guess what? Those are the calories that you're going to be those are the calories that you're eating.
Right.
But if you feed your metabolism, you're growing muscle, guess what? That metabolism is going to be fired up. I'm hungry and I just had like a 400 meal.
And you're going to be, and so you're burning throughout the day.
Throughout the day. Muscle burns more calories throughout the day.
Right. Over
48 hours. Cardio only burns 5 hours.
Wow. So tell me what your workout looks like on a daily. Like you don't do 45 minutes on the treadmill anymore, but what do you do? Like, give me an idea. I want to know if I'm doing it the right way.
So I went from walking 5,000 steps a day to walking 12,000 steps a day. Okay. I focus my activity over steps. So instead of me doing cardio, if I do, I'll maybe do 20 minutes, like on the elliptical on an incline. Okay. But I focus ideally, like right now, I'm just building muscle and I walk for like, I don't know, like at the gym, I'll walk like 20 minutes. But around my whole day, my goal is I have a pedometer on my watch. So instead of seeing the circle, oh my God, I burned so many calories. Yeah. No, I have a pedometer. Okay. And my pedometer has to hit 12 to 13, sometimes even 15,000 steps. Okay. And that's what is maintaining my weight right now. Okay. And when I go to the gym, I break it up, some days, right now I'm trying to build really strong legs. My upper body tends to build a little bit faster. So I focus on strength training, glutes, hamstrings, legs, 3 times a week. The other 2 days I focus on like shoulders, arms. Okay. Very, very minimal. But honestly, it's just the food that I'm eating that keeps me,
Yeah, I mean, like they say 80% is food and then 20% your workout. Right. Now at the gym, when you're doing weights and, you're building muscle and stuff, how are you spending 2 hours at the gym? Because people always say like, you have to spend 2 hours at the gym in order to build muscle.
I don't spend I'm not lying. I spend 2 hours, not because I'm there working out, but because I'm doing my walking and I enjoy my walking. Right. And my kids have daycare. So if you're like a stay-at-home mom, it's like
you're going to take longer to do your set.
I'm just going to be there. I'm just going to be on the treadmill, like catching up on my social media, letting the kids have their fun in the daycare area. Right. But that's the only reason why I spend 2 hours there is because I just kind of lollygag. Is that how you say it? Lolly? I don't even know. But you know what I mean. It's just for a stay-at-home mom, like not having your kids.
Yeah, for sure. And it's your time too. Exactly. Like if you can get to the gym and then do your 45-minute workout, I would think the 45 minutes is okay because that's what I do. Yeah,
45 minutes for sure.
It's your me time too. Exactly. So don't even, look at it as in like, oh, I have to go to the gym. But it's like your time to decompress, do your own thing, listen to your own music, you know, do whatever it is that makes you happy during that time. Like I do the same thing that you do while I'm at the gym. Do my social media, I watch podcasts, and I do all this other stuff. And I'm just, even though in the morning I don't want to go because I go really early.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go today, but I still push myself, and then I go. And then right after, I feel so much better. I'm like ready for the day earlier than probably a lot of people I know, even my own kids.
You could do, if you're feeling overwhelmed, is just try to take it back a notch. Like, what can you accomplish? You know, maybe your workouts can be even harder and more effective if you were to go 3 days instead of 4 days.
Right. Yeah. What advice would you give women who are struggling to balance their personal and professional lives while also making time for their health and fitness? This is a huge one because we talk to women all the time. They are in corporate world or self-employed, and, you know, they're hustling every day to, you know, make a living and have a successful career. So what advice would you give them to be able to incorporate all of that? You think?
Time management, for sure. Having a schedule where you follow it to the T, or even planning out your schedule ahead of time. I know for a fact, something that I learned from doing Herbalife is we were really big on structure and building a business around our lifestyle.
Right.
And so I had to learn how to map out my week. You know, prioritize, if working out is something that you really want to do and focus on, prioritize it like if it was a doctor appointment.
That's very true. I can't remember who I was talking to, or if I saw it on a podcast. I think I probably saw it on a podcast, and they said, you have to, you know, like we put meetings on our calendar or whatnot, you have to put your workout in your calendar.
Yeah.
So like if you go to my calendar right now, you will see 5 a.m. every day, well, except Saturdays and Sundays.
That's your rest day.
Monday through Friday, you know, you'll see it right there. Like I block off an hour, even though I know that I don't have nothing else going on at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like I have a meeting or anything, but I blocked off that hour or 2 hours, whatever it is, in my calendar. Yeah. So it always comes up. Like it's just a reminder, because we're on our calendars all the time, especially if you run a business or whatnot. So you're always checking. So it's just like a reminder, oh, well, yeah, tomorrow I have to go to the gym. So, I mean, it goes with what you're saying, just like being structured about it.
Yeah. And I am somebody who's like, I like the apps, like the calendar app, but I'm also very hands-on visual. So I have to have like a new calendar planner on my desk with everything, and I have one even on my kitchen.
That's like very old school.
I'm old school at heart, I guess. So I have one, and I like to visually write it out, and for some reason it ingrains in my head more than just like in my phone. I don't know.
Right. I totally get you. It took me a long time, and I still struggle with the calendar on my phone till today. But it's getting better. But yeah, it was a struggle. I was more of like writing down things and stuff, and now I'm trying to transition to just having things, you know, more mobile. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle. Okay. What role does nutrition play in weight loss? We kind of touched on that. And how do you help your clients create sustainable and healthy eating habits? So when you have a new client, just briefly, what would they expect? Like they meet with you, and what are the things that you actually help them with? Do you give them menus, or do you actually have like a nutritional talk and guide them through that as, you know, maybe the months, if they hire you for months at a time or whatnot, along with like a workout plan? How does that work with you?
So I actually just started implementing this new thing where I'm going to do like a mentorship, kind of like a...
I love that.
Like a master class.
Okay.
Because if I could teach more than one person,
yes,
it's going to be way better for me.
100%.
So, I wanted to do a master class where I teach women how to track their macros. And to be honest, understanding your nutrition and where it's coming from is something that's helped me in my life so much and has transformed the way I eat, that I think it's so... And even if women don't want to track later on, understanding the food that you're eating is going to be so helpful at the end of the day.
I think learning it, it's because
the basics.
Yeah, that would help me. So, and it's so funny that after so many years, I still can't get it. So it's like an ongoing thing. This is not something that...
It's a cycle.
Yes. And you have to be on it all the time and learning about every food that you eat. And I would think that for me it would be easier because I'm very, like I can eat the same thing every day for like years and I would be okay. I know that a lot of women are not, but even doing that, like if I eat the same thing, and maybe it's because I don't want to bother with like learning other stuff, so I'm okay with eating the same thing. But I feel that if I had the knowledge that you're talking about and nutrition and with the foods and stuff, like I would probably live a happier life than just eating turkey every single day.
Yes.
And rice cakes.
That's what I was going to ask you. You might be okay with eating the same thing every single day, but do you actually enjoy it?
Right.
Does you, when you eat those things every single day, does that cause weekends where you splurge a little bit more and you're over consuming now?
Right.
And that's what we don't want.
Yeah.
We want to be able to incorporate those foods that you love to eat on the weekends, on the weekdays.
Throughout the day. Throughout the week.
Throughout the week.
Okay.
That way you're not having this restrictive mindset Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends you're just like you have that all or nothing mindset.
That's so good. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a lot of work.
No, trust me, girl. It's a process. And I think it's liberating when you have that like freedom.
But then also too, at the end of the day, we have to look at it as it's not just for how we look; it's for our own health, and it's so that we can live longer, so we can be around for our kids too.
Oh, you know what? You're speaking my language. I swear I said this yesterday, and before my goals were to aesthetically just look 6-pack all the time, and how unrealistic expectations I set for myself, which was causing me to have this bad relationship with food. I'm a mom. My husband works. I mostly at home with the kids. Yeah. This is reality for a majority of women, like I don't have time to dial in like calorie cut every single day. Yeah. Like I would rather be in a maintenance where I'm happy, and then maybe months on, I can decide if I want to be in a cut where I can lose a little bit of body fat.
Right.
But you cannot be dieting 24/7.
Your entire life, which is all women. Yeah. For most part. They're always trying to diet. Yeah. We're always trying to diet. And what kind of health issues will that bring on when we actually get older?
Loss of muscle mass. Yeah. Your lower BMR. So many things at the end of the day. So.
And that's very scary.
It's very scary, sure. Yeah.
Because then we won't be around for our kids. And then again, I don't know. And I wish maybe we need to bring like a psychologist or something, because we have to get in the brain and mind of women and why we are wired that way. I mean, and I know that not everyone is so concerned about the way that they look or physically, but I think a lot of them are. I think majority of women.
Majority of women are. And that's why I want to change women's mindset to not feel that way, to understand that just because, don't compare your body to so-and-so on Instagram or whatever, whoever you follow, because that person is either an influencer, such, or maybe she's getting paid, maybe she's doing something. Yeah. Like, you have to live your life. If you're a family person, if you're a working wife, you have your own business, like, you have to do what's working for you. Your lifestyle will dictate your diet. Like, you cannot, like I said before, you cannot diet 24/7. Yeah. It's a lot of stress on your body.
Yeah. I really think that you should put together your masterclass, because I think that would be huge. And then maybe if you can do it on a social media platform that you can reach out like more people, like we can share it. And I think that could be really big. This was really interesting and I loved it. And I wish we had like 10 hours to talk about it so I can learn more. I'm going to have to hire you.
I'm like a mad scientist when it comes to this stuff.
I love it.
I love it.
I love that you are so fun, and then you're so, involved and just love doing this and want to help women with those challenges. And again, I always look at your stuff and you look amazing. And I'm just like, I need to call Julie. But thank you so much for being here. And where can someone reach out to you? Give us your Instagram handle, or where can like someone call you? Tell us.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. It was really fun to be here with you. You're just so great too.
Thank you.
So you guys can reach me at _Julie__ Santiago. That's my Instagram handle. And that's pretty much really where I'm most active.
We're going to have to change your handle.
What should it be?
Badass fitness nutrition.
You know
Julie.
what? I told my husband yesterday. I was like, I think it's time to change my Instagram handle, and I want to.
It's an evolution.
It is. It really is.
I think you're meant for like really big things in this world, and I think that we're gonna have to do this again. And
I would be so down. Like have like a nutritional.
We have to
like little.
Yeah, masterclass.
Yes, I would be so down for that.
Or do one of my Instagram lives on Monday. Yeah.
That would be good. That would be fun. I would totally be down.
Well, thank you so much again. And follow my friend Julie. She has a lot of good stuff to share. I hope everyone enjoyed today.
Thank you for joining us on Breaking the Glass Ceiling. We hope you feel empowered to break free from limitations that hold you back, so achieving your dreams is now possible. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of our inspiring conversations. But before we go, we want to remind you that you are capable of greatness. And by joining us next time, you can start shaking off that self-talk so you can move forward. That's one step closer to breaking the glass ceiling.